Are we live? What's happening?
We are live. We are live.
We're live. Hey, people. Let's give it a second. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Yes, thank you. Let's give it a second. Julian already told me he's going to be late. Gustavo is here with us today. Oh, and with image and everything. Hello. Nice. Hi. Welcome. Okay, so
Collaborate.
same.
Yeah.
Hello, can you guys hear me? I don't know. Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good, Gustavo.
They can hear you.
Nice.
We can hear you. You're all good. All right. So again, same rules as always. I don't know why, but I cannot get the echo shit out of my recording. So whenever I speak, please be muted. Otherwise you get really horrible recordings. And yeah, let's move to the agenda. So again, I think Julian said that his previous call might go over. So we have to be a little bit patient for the core team updates, but I guess that's fine. That's fine for
Do you have
once.
an event flame link?
Yes, of course, in the weekly calls channel, but also it's here. Hi, Luisa. Welcome. Can you, sorry, I have to always tell people, can you mute yourself? Because otherwise we get horrible echoes of the recording.
Hi there. I'm not able to
Hey.
hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, can you guys say something? Because I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Can someone
Hi,
say something?
Youngs. What's up? Yeah, I'm saying something.
Okay.
Hey,
I can
like
only
Danny
hear
is here.
the alert, but let me see.
Oh, that's weird.
Mute mic.
GMGM, everybody.
Let me try something else then. I'm gonna
Drop out
leave
and come back in.
yes. Leave
Okay,
and drop
sounds
back
good.
again, yes.
I can do this by sign language by now. It's fine. You don't need to speak. You just do this, and I know what's going on. Okay. Good morning, Youngs. Can you hear us, though? You're good? Oh, and then he vanished. Okay. Cece, long time no see. Yeah, just like 5 minutes ago. Okay. Luisa's back, so let's see if she can hear us now. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Success. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome back. So something you didn't hear before, you have to mute yourself because for some weird reason, my setup just echoes like crazy if anyone else is also unmuted. So I'm sorry for this, not meaning to, take your voice from you. Will is getting all crazy. Okay, so let's get into the agenda. Oh, look who's here. An honored guest. Chris is in the house, just lurking today. I love when you lurk.
Howdy.
Howdy, we love you lurking around. Okay, so let's jump into operations and coordination first, and then whenever Julian comes, hopefully at some point, we get some core team updates because I'm curious on how the whole ELE swap pool stuff is going. Okay, so in operations and coordination, we have something very important that I need all you guys' attention on, okay? Which is essentially voting on, oh God, now I can't find you anymore. Where are you guys? This proposal. Please vote. Vote now if you hold up token. Don't wait. Vote now. Okay. It's an important one. And also for clarification's sake, because Will asked this and he was like almost not voting on it. He said like, hey, wait. So you're essentially saying with this incentive model that it will be much more beneficial for me to write a newsletter in comparison to making like a cool like video guide. And I was like, no, sorry, that wasn't what I was trying to do. So yes, also if you write a script for a video that will go into the incentivization model, do we need to test our way forward with this idea? Yes, we do need to do that. Okay, so I don't have all the answers. I just think this is a content creation incentive model for our social media channels that we can start trying out. Then if there's stuff we don't like, well, we don't like it, we change it. This is what we do, right? So we iterate our way forward instead of just like doing something and then like, oh, we can't change it and we can't change everything all the time. So let's just try, vote this through. Let's test it a month. Let's test it 2 months. Let's see how it works. If we hate it, we change it. All right. But please vote. Whatever you vote, please vote. All right. Hi, Julian. No problem. You were like 7 minutes late. I think that's absolutely forgivable. So you're okay. Reminder, we can cancel or change anything at any time with a vote. Yay. Exactly. Yeah. So no reason to just not try stuff, right? Then actually, Julian, you go first with the core team updates, and then I have 1.5 sneak attacks prepared for you.
So what did we do over the last few days? Worked on a lot of small fixes, minor improvements, snacks. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but there's been a campaign where Pizza DAO is featured in Brave, and that exploded the traffic basically. So a bunch of like, oh wait, this thing is breaking, a bunch of caching things, small things left and right that you might have not seen. We're refactoring the emails, the system that we used to send emails. So that's something that's worked on. I worked on, Cecilia, your feature to show the event collection pages. It's not live yet, but I hope to have it, sometime this week, hopefully end of the week, and then we'll push to production when it's there. What else did I do? Oh, I fixed the Open Graph description as well. So, when you create an event, you can use Markdown, and we were not, the Markdown was not looking good on the previews on Open Graph, and now it's fixed. And I think that was it. Oh, yes, I also changed. So, we had the buy up link on the static site. I don't know if anybody used it, but basically, if you go to the static site at the top, you have a way to kind of buy up, which is the unlock protocol, as you know, for the governance. And I moved this to using Relay. And the reason for this is because we were only using the Uniswap link, which means that you had to be on Base and all of that. And now people can even, if they are using Bitcoin, they can buy up with Bitcoin from the Bitcoin chain or from Solana or all of that. So that makes things much easier and simpler for people to just buy the tokens. And that was it. That was it. It's been a intense couple days. Hopefully we'll get more stuff soon.
That's fine. Thank you so much. And I know Ceci is very happy already about her voice being heard. So thank you for doing that. Actually, I think we had another discussion, right, which was the pending and sorting stuff on.
So I saw your comments. Yeah, I saw your comments. This is definitely something that we can look at. So on the locks, we have the concept of favorite locks, right? So you can do a favorite, and then they will show up at the top, which I think is, solves 90% of the problem, maybe 99% of the problem that have multiple locks. We can definitely think about sorting by time as well. So you would just have, especially for events, like, the most recent at the top and the last one at the bottom. For locks, it's not necessarily. We actually tried this at some point. It's not necessary because if people have multiple, if I deploy multiple locks, maybe there's a community lock. So I guess it depends on what kind of lock that is. If these are event things, yes, sorting by time makes sense. If this is more like a subscription, it doesn't make sense to. So because like maybe there is a more active subscription that is older or something like this. So I'll add for the events. I'll definitely add the sorting on the events page. But for the locks, I'm not fully sure yet.
I have an idea for the locks that might not even require any sorting, which is just a search filter. Like if you have this on the upper right in the menu, just a search, and then you start typing the first few letters, and then just like, I don't know how these things are, like, I don't know how it works, but I've seen it and
Yeah, let me think about this. I think that's maybe a way to do that. I don't know. We would definitely not have a backend service to do indexing because that's a whole kind of worms. But on the front end, we could definitely do something where you type, I don't know, you type something and it finds it. But your web browser supports this though, so it's kind of, you should be able to do that natively with the web browser, right? Like find in the page the lock's specific name. Let me think more about this.
Sounds good. Okay, are you ready for the next sneak attack? Okay, so I had a crazy idea. Okay, I was playing The Witcher 3 because that's what I do in my free time: murder a bunch of people, so I have fun. No, just kidding, just kidding. Okay, so anyways, as you sometimes, I don't know how many of you play games, but the point is that as games have become more complex just by nature and have a bunch of features and a bunch of upgrades and a bunch of functionalities, usually you get like a guided menu and you get this, I want to say, like different like time frames, right? Time stamps within the game. So let's just say, right, level 1, you get introduced to the basic game functions. Then, like after you've spent some time in the game, there is another guide that tells you how to mix potions or enhance your sword mastery with alchemy or whatever, right? So you get another guide. So I had this weird idea, Julian, and you're probably gonna hate me for it, but could we have like these pop-up guides for people and potentially, like, is this something that you think front end style could be built and could be useful? Because like I feel with the troubleshooting that we've done with Pizza DAO people, it seems like there is a need for this. Like there's just so much basic knowledge that is missing that I feel like if we could close some of these gaps, like people would have a more seamless time on
So
the
you mean
protocol
basically
when they're there first.
the kind of thing where you go on the website and there's like a sticker that is like, oh, click here and then click there. We've never used that for unlock. I know they're really hard to maintain. These things basically break a lot. But if you find a good framework for this, I'm willing to take to test this. But I would definitely very, very hard try. I mean, we will not change the code to support this. It's more like something that we put on top of and kind of have this. Again, if you find a good framework to do this, why not? But these are really hard to maintain. And so I'm a bit, ambivalent about that.
Okay, I'm just thinking about scaling. But yeah, okay. Let me do some research. Let me see if I can find something that makes sense. And
Also,
Will, if you want. Oh, Luisa, yeah.
yes, so we thought about pop-up for like some of our design. You also want to be aware of mobile, because mobile doesn't really work very well at all with pop-up. Yeah, so that's another consideration.
Thank you for making that annotation. Okay, keeping that in mind. All right, Will, what's up?
I hope Julian's ready for another sneak attack. When Warpcast mini apps? I've heard they're all the rage. Even the cool kids are building one.
Go build one.
Oh, wait.
I mean, I think let's clarify, right? The protocol is not an app. Anybody can build a mini app, and if you want to go ahead and do that, or if you know people that like, but it's not part of the protocol scope. To be clear, right? Does that make sense, Will?
Understood.
So if somebody wants to do that, I'm 100% supportive. I can help them in any way I can. Maybe write code. I don't know if you guys remember, we did this when they were called frames. We actually worked with I forgot his name. Stella, you know
Nestor, 0x Nestor. Yeah, I remember names.
But Nestor, the challenge with these things, like we need somebody who is kind of entrepreneurial, who wants to actually build this, has an idea of how to build it, and doesn't, Nestor was a good engineer, but not a great product person. And so in the end, didn't build something that doesn't work and nobody is using it. So that's why I definitely don't want to be telling people, oh, go do this, because I want them to own it. So if you want to build something, Will, go ahead, own it, and then I'll help you do this. But it's not the other way around where you're providing a service to me. If you want to build something that is a mini app that locks content and allows people to subscribe to stuff, 100% supportive. But let's not have I would not tell you what to do. You have to tell me like, okay, I want to do this. How can I do this? And then I'll help you.
And most importantly, something that you shared with me before, it could be built in a way where this ownership could actually be monetary incentivized, right? So whenever a paid lock is built for a post, for example, through that mini app on Firecaster, a fraction of that cost could go to the owner of the mini app. There is no problem with that, right? So I actually had a conversation today with the developer team, like a small one from UAE, who's maybe interested in building this. Actually, I also had a conversation last week with Jarvis James, who was introduced by Kara to us. So he's considering this. So I have already pinned you out to several places, Julian, just so you know. Okay. But yeah, a fair question. I think it would be great to have that. And I like the idea that Julian had with the mini app of like very surgically like being able to token gaze like your posts essentially through it. I think it's pretty useful. And also, Jongs, what's up?
If I can find the unmute button, is my audio working? It sounds like it is. So Cece just answered my question there. So we're pretty excited to do this peer learning cohort AI for real estate and seeking some input because it's planning to run for 4 months. And this is like one of the things that we're looking to do. It's going to be a fairly expensive cohort at $497 a month, but we're wanting to also, for our friends at Proppy, create the mechanic where with instead of $497 USDC or wanting it to be $497 Pro tokens as well. So I'll work on getting that summarized. But besides running 4 months and wanting to do a monthly dynamic, we're going to be doing 2 weekly sessions and wanting to see what the easiest thing is. And who else used Unicorn for ETH Denver? Did you anybody else on board with Unicorn.eth at ETH Denver? So Unicorn.eth is an account abstraction solution with a fabulous dev team behind it. And we're actually going to be using Unicorn too. And I don't know if this is another composability opportunity. I think Russell, the head of BizDev, co-founder at Unicorn, said that they've already had several hundred projects on board because they were featured. I think Griff was rocking out the unicorn at the front of the Build-a-thon. You probably remember seeing him there. So they're getting a good amount of traction, and we're planning to use that. And they have a DApp functionality as well. So this is another opportunity for unlock composability within this ecosystem. So yeah.
Okay, yes, best as Stacey said, right? Like ideally, share what troubles you, and maybe one of us can jump on a call and help you figure out how best to set everything up. But otherwise, there's also the guides with a lot of the information already inside. So that's always a very good place to start if you're looking for specific functionality that you're after, right? You said something about recurring meetings, so maybe a recurring subscription. Like these things, there are guides on and they're pretty detailed. So maybe try that first. And then if you get stuck, actually, jump in the chat and be like, yo, I got stuck. Like, can you guys help? I think that would be even better, like even for you. So you can like start growing, in the sense of like learning how to use the protocol and in multiple pathways, not just one.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I'm just trying to figure out is like it's going to be a monthly for the cohort, $497 a month, but we're only wanting it to go 4 months. So, and I don't know if that's what that looks like. We haven't used the paid mechanism a lot within Unlock. But yeah, the biggest thing is just getting it configured to use the Pro token on base. So that's something that we've done before in the past.
Yeah, so try your way forward. If you get stuck, screenshots, log link, so we can actually help, or even like add us or me as a log manager, and then I can take a look. Although most of the times I feel I still ask Juliet for help if it really gets on fire. So sorry for that, Juliet. But yeah, okay. Great, thank you for sharing. Gustavo, your app. So a quick introduction. Gustavo is from Collaborate. Collaborate is a collaborative tool for teams, and maybe possibly a solution to make our retroactive funding process a little bit more transparent, a little bit better, a bit more defined, and all of that. So yeah, you want to say hi and share a little? No, you first have to unmute yourself.
That will be very useful.
Oh, yeah, you
Let's see
muted
now.
yourself again. So
What
just
about now? Can you hear me?
yeah, now you're good. Keep it open.
Nice, good. Yeah, because the UI here is confusing me very much. Like, I still see myself being mute. But anyhow, thank you very much, Estela, for inviting me here. Let me just briefly introduce myself. I've been in the crypto space for over 9 years, mainly focusing on governance and community management, and now I'm leading Collaborate team. And Collaborate, we're developing a protocol for measuring, rewarding, and improving contributions, how people are valued within an organization. So we are blending things like sweat equity, peer feedback, tokenized accounting. Probably in the future, I mean, probably I will take out that probably because we're already directed towards that. We are going to integrate even AI agents for coaching our people and leveraging that we are actually producing a lot of peer feedbacks content, like people are measuring, so they are giving feedback to each other about how is the vibe in working together. So yes, what our protocol does is we create agreements for people to state what is the value that they are bringing to their organization, as well as what they are expect in exchange, right? Like not only how much of stable coins or money they are expecting back, but also how much tokens of these organizations they will like to receive. So it's a primitive to build what we call dynamic sweat equity. I can share a video that will give you a little bit of space. And again, can you guys hear me? Now my window is just blank. Please
Oh
give
yeah,
me
we
back.
can hear you. You're all good.
Okay,
Yeah, we
nice.
can hear you.
Nice. I can hear you, but I cannot see you nor nor even send the link that I wanted to share there in the chat. But anyhow,
Share it if you want. Share it with me on Discord, in the Kudos channel, and then we can link it here too.
That I can do. Amazing.
I think.
And as a
Yeah.
yes, it's just there in the Kudos chat now. And yeah, I'm also willing to take the opportunity and maybe invite Youngs to share some words. Youngs is one of our clients using this tool with our organization. So yeah, it will be super cool, Youngs, if you want to share some testimonials about how you guys are using Collaborate and how it's moving forward. if you feel so. You don't need
Yeah,
to.
no, absolutely. I moved my mic a little bit here because my wife just delivered me some Raising Cane's fried chicken. So, but yeah, absolutely love Collabberry, and having a tool for doing team agreements is one of the more interesting things, and that's something that we're looking forward to continuing to use in our ecosystem for building tokenized brands and tokenized projects to slice the proverbial pie, if you will. And um, really looking forward to seeing what that looks and grows to in the future. We're still wanting to figure out some good meritocracy solutions with more of a technology enabled aspect, but would love to have more conversations on that. Been geeking out a lot on AI agents, but yeah, I would absolutely support and embrace with the more moving to that here within Unlock DAO compared to the existing retroactive funding process.
Thank you, Yanks. Yes, I think that the most valuable feature we have is to provide a way to of social validation for distributing the resources that a team have towards their contributors. It's also a sensitive solution for sorry, for providing for those teams that are like different that are distributed around the world. Maybe some people are in Peru, some people are in New York, some people are in Taiwan, so their salary needs will be quite different, meaning that their minimal required salary in fiat or stable coins can be actually different. While still, if we are talking about three people with the same skill sets or experience, they could be even marketed at the same rate. So people that will be earning more stable coins, then they will be receiving less equity or organizational tokens in exchange. And not only that, when we decide for how much to distribute of these ownership tokens, this is where the social validation process comes into place. Like we enable rounds where we recommend like once a month, where the team will take from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how big the team is, just to share some basic feedback. It's a 5 stars rate system where 5 stars meaning you did a great work, you overachieved our expectations. 3 stars meaning that you did what you were promising to do, and 1 starts meaning like, hey, dude, this is not what we have agreed for, right? So there is an aggregation on all of these metrics, evaluations, reviews. This aggregation is then multiplied for a variance, a number that will decrease or increase the salary by the maximum. This variance can be 20%, 30%, 50%. It depends on each people cultures. In our case, for example, is 20%, and this is what we recommend following the researches that we have done. So yes, I don't want to take more much time, so unless you guys have a question. So you want to finish that. Collaberry is just a tool for bringing first transparency and second, but even mainly is fairness in the way that people are receiving their salaries and engaging into this co-ownership of the organization that they are building together. I will be super happy to respond to any questions. You can check the product, the webpage in Collaberry. It's with double L, double B, double R. Collaberry.xyz. The beta product is up there we are right now working on Arbitrum only, but this week we are launching on our second chain. We are targeting, which will be Cello. We had a grant from them, and probably in the next following month we will jump towards other chains, and we are super interested in going to Base. We are prioritizing also Base because in Base there is an amazing community of builders, and we really want to empower them to bring fairness on the way in which they are distributing their rewards and compensations to their teams. Any question, guys?
Any questions, anyone? I see Will wrote in the chat. Is there an opportunity to collaborate with Good Dollar? I think we asked you the same thing in the Kudos chat, right? About App Token. So kind of like a similar question, probably a similar answer, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't followed Good Dollar in a while. I actually used to work with those guys 3 years ago. I was governance lead with them, and if there is a particular interest, I'm super looking forward, yes, to provide a solution for them. I think I still have good friends there. I want to think that, yeah. Just ping me, DM me, give me an idea about how you guys are envisioning that, and for sure we can have a chat about that. I will love to.
There's actually a hand up from Yonks.
Thank you, Stella. And one question that I've had, Gustavo, is in our venture studio model, being able to contribute to more than one project. Is that something that you all have deployed, or is that on the roadmap for adding that feature?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, John. So yeah, first and foremost, Junks, and just for the rest of the people to know that our product is in beta, meaning that we just deploy a minimum viable version uh, of this product. And yes, like we do need to deploy it, the enabling of having single accounts to be used for multiple organizations. This is key for our roadmap because we also want to position Collaberry as a tool that it's providing for people's reputations. It's a social validated with people that you actually are working with reputation. And we do need to bring this up there. We are right now having problems of capacity in terms of development. We have very little budget at the moment. We are still working with grants, convincing people for money, and there are also some other clients that are willing to have for other, let's say, more business oriented features, meaning like features where they will pay for. So we are having those conversations right now in terms of prioritization. But as soon, Junks, as we have a good chunk of resources there to go for fixing this feature, yes, I'm the main one in the team looking forward to provide for that. But we have a lot of priorities on the table right now. So, but in the meanwhile, I mean, you can provide some troubleshootings. You can open different accounts with the same MetaMask seed, and you can aggregate different address towards a same user if you just put some proxy in the middle that is able to understand that.
Well,
okay. Thank you, Gustavo, for this. Jons, is this something urgent, or can we move down the agenda because we still have a lot on it?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say payroll, Gustavo, is one thing that businesses pay for, and I know that that's something that Daniel was seeking some input.
Yeah, this is actually on top of our priority list. Payroll. We want to integrate to automatize like stablecoin payments in the same action that is minting the Collaborate tokens for organizations. So that is where we are at the moment. If you have already thought about this, let's chat offline because we are doing some research with our customers about how they envision this feature to be. So that's a good action to take forward. Yes.
So, Gustavo, I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but he just sent a thumbs up in the chat.
Woohoo! Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not seeing that. I just see
no worries.
white.
So thank you. All
screen
whites.
here.
Okay. So thank you again for coming. Thank you again for sharing. So if you guys want to keep this conversation going because it's an interesting one, then check out the Kudos channel on the Discord. This is where this conversation is happening, because I've been seeing that, not a lot of people still are engaging with the Kudos channel, even though we made it more accessible, more easy, and more straightforward by just using one channel. So I guess we need to look at other options on how to do this, or we need to rethink if we still need retroactive funding, or we're just moving exclusively to predefined incentives model like with the social content strategy. So that said, thank you, Gustavo, for sharing. And if you have more questions, please hit them up in the chat. No worries. All right.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump off because I have no power to mute myself. So thank you,
mute
guys.
yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right, let's move a little bit through the agenda. Okay, so as you heard, Pizza DAO is going pretty well. I want to say not just because of the explosion, this is obviously also great, but also because, in all honesty, like Ceci and I were in the troubleshooter chat, it's a fraction of people who have problems. It's still, depending on how much we manage scaling this year, it's still going to be too much for 2 people to handle, okay, aside from doing other stuff. Because we have spent a lot of time last week just essentially helping in that chat and not really doing like all the work that we wanted to do. We were like a little bit on the crying end of last week. We were like, damn, we did do a lot of things, but also it was really cool helping them out. So obviously it's not like long-term feasible, considering that we want to keep growing, and this is going pretty well right now. So in that sense, still just a fraction. And yeah, State of Unlock, isn't this a wonderful page to visit these days? Okay, let's visit it. Let's do it. I'm sharing my screen. It's the best page ever. So I think you already sorted it, didn't you? Look at this. Look at this. This is what true explosion looks like.
No, that's the huddle thing, right? Like, click on keys.
Click on keys, okay.
Yeah, where it says keys in the middle. Yep, and then just do a month, because I don't think we need to see, to go back in time forever. But yeah, so basically this is the last month, and you see every day we're reaching records in number of keys. The big thing that happened earlier this month was the huddle thing, but no, it's scaling pretty well. And the good news is, like, it's in 2 days now, right? Like, it's on Thursday, so end of this week, a lot of the pressure should go down. Then we have DAPCon in Germany that's happening as well, and then after that, I think we should have a little bit of respite, which is good, because DAPCon is June 16th to 18th, but it's not nearly as much volume, so we should see we should see a little bit of respite after this.
Yeah, but this is worth celebrating, honestly, guys. This has been very much a group effort from all ends. Ceci also, big applause because you wield Ramit. I mean, Ramit has been a long-standing member of the community as well, so it's not super surprising that he felt this was a good idea to do. Because he loves the protocol, he adores Julian. Okay, so that helps. And but overall, just congratulations for like sustainable growth, because this is how it looks like, and I hope we can keep it going in that manner in the short future and in the distant future. That would be nice. So, anyways, this is really cool to look at.
Quick
Julian,
question.
more?
Yeah. So support. I know you've been asking me for some of the questions people are facing, like, but I would love to hear from you two. What is the number one thing people are struggling with? That you're, is like, I know what this is. I can help them. Because you tell me, okay, like, oh, there's somebody who's like, oh, she cannot make some fields not required. So I don't.
Yeah, but that was a front.
Hopefully that's just one, right? Like, it's not a most of the things. So I would love to hear what are the number one things.
Well, Stacey, you go first. You do this one.
Yeah. No. What I've been seeing is, first of all, the most basic thing is having ETH on the network that they need, So that's something that they are starting to realize and to really learn how to use their Web3 wallet to start engaging with the protocol to pay those gas fees. After that, the other thing that they are experimenting is, for some reason, some people like mint their ticket. Maybe they forget about it and they want to mint the ticket again. And obviously there is like an error that appears to them. In my case, that I attended yesterday, it was okay from here, Bolivia, and she already minted, but I could like search the email address, for example, for her. So in the dashboard, I could see that, and then it was all good. But I think for the managers that right now are starting to engage on Unlock, trying to navigate through the dashboard is something that they are still trying to learn. So it's not so easy to focus. So that's something that now I need to talk to KLM, for example, that and I think that's the error that he is having, because he shared before that error, so I had to make a loom so he could like share how people can mint a ticket, and then it was everything okay, and now today again the same error. So I think it's something around that. But go, Stella, you have more experiences to share.
No, I agree with you. These were the most common ones. The other one is that, if you have the MetaMask wallet, then it seems you still need to manually switch to Base, which is not, it's not the thing with Rappi or with some other wallets. It just like reads the network that was selected on the application and then it just switches, it seems. So depending on that, that was also something that came more frequently. But yeah, overall, I think there's a few cases like the one from Karashima. This is the one that I sent you from India, where she wanted to have all of these like, I told her, I said, it's better you embed like just a form link and have people fill out that form. And she was like, no, I want to have this in the event. And I was like, okay, well, you can add these other metadata fields, but like, I wasn't sure if it would break everything. So I was not recommending it. But then, she wanted to make them not a required thing anymore. And this is apparently where it didn't go through. But this was an exceptional case.
Yeah, I looked at this one specifically. For me, it's, if you're doing a free event, requiring people to do a lot of things, like put their, skills in their LinkedIn page and all of that, that's going to be a lot of people that are not going to RSVP. Like it really, like, what are you trying to achieve here? It's like, do you want to have more RSVPs or do you want to collect more data? And these are, contradicting things. But it works, so I'm glad it works. It's just like I feel like maybe some of these organizers should have a little bit of strategic thinking about what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's also good to explore possibilities of making like an improvements on the UI, on like making things to be better seen and more intuitive in some cases. But on the most part, everything is working fine. The last thing that I have seen is that they were trying to do some kind of pop art memory. Not sure what they are meaning, but yeah, I think there are some things that they are trying like to they are trying to compare us to pop.
I
I don't know. That those are things that
I read this. I don't understand this. So unless they clarify, I'm like, what are you trying to ask here? I don't understand. Like sometimes I'm still fascinated by how bad people can communicate in this world, because I'm like, what are you trying to tell us? I don't understand. So I was really happy when you took this one on. I was like, I think I'm just gonna reply to Karashima and try to solve this with Julian, and you take this one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
it's
think
also
I'm going to get into a one-on-one with him because he speaks
yeah,
Spanish, and that could be also another way to be
better. I think
a better
yeah.
onboarding process too.
I also had some calls in Spanish because there was a hindrance. Oh, this is actually something I need to share. So, guys, we are out of the airport terminal opening. It would have been nice, but we're out because the website is not in Spanish and they want it to be in Spanish. That's as simple as it goes. So, not our fault, not because of our technology, nothing. It's just they need this to be in Spanish because it's a lot of Spanish speaking officials, and they got feedback that this would be horrendous to use a non-Spanish speaking tool. So not our fault, but well, we got kicked out. So I'm sorry to be disappointing on this one. I mean, it would have been one lock on the list of locks, right? So it's not. Yeah, no, for me, it's very painful, to be very honest with you. It's not going to be painful for the protocol. It's just because I invested so much time in it, right? Next time we'll be done with internationalization. Yeah, maybe if someone actually does it. So that's the thing. Okay, quick update on role design with Lea San. So I'm sure some of you have seen the recent like updated graphics and visuals on membership NFTs, which I think are coming across, like they're coming together really, really nicely. They look really, really pretty. I think also very like uplifting, engaging, like cool in a way. So I think this is a good development. If you agree with what any like either of us, Ceci or me, wrote in the chat, then please like just give it a thumbs up or a yay or I like or whatever. You don't need to criticize. And like first of all, don't criticize about stuff that should have been criticized like 2 months ago, right? So that's a big ask. But then if you want to criticize, do it, but do it in like, just like humanoid language, okay? Like don't do it in like toxic language. All right. So quick run through because I know Louisa is waiting for her turn here. But a quick run through. So guys, another reminder, there is this option about the tally staking. So I have not seen anyone like crazy comment on this. I still think it's a good idea to explore how this could look like, how this would work. So if no one is like horribly offended or opposed, I would just set up a meeting with Cool Horse Girl, her, me and I, and just figure out like what would be next steps if we wanted to do this, and write a short like essentially brief on what would be the benefits versus the risks. So we have that in short and concise and available, and then we can actually make a decision on that topic. Does that sound okay? Can I get some emojis, thumbs up? A physical emoji from Julian, physical emoji from Ceci. I'm thinking on it, emoji, physically, nature from Yonks. Okay. Good. That's good enough for me. Then I had a conversation with the VeraSwap team on cross-chain token pool population. That could maybe be interesting in the future. I don't know yet. Just wanted to let you know I had that conversation and also talked to them about the mini app. So maybe we're coming together on one or the other. One more topic that I want to kick for like last conversation, but it's a very important one, is the proposal that Wonder Woman Code published a while ago on Snapshot. So we should quickly talk about that. Are there any like updates on the Uniswap pool proposal? Not yet. Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. I know Clément is supposed to submit it. Actually, no, it's a different one. No, he did give a bunch of feedback to Danny. I don't know, Danny, if you looked at that one. I'm talking about the one to bring the treasury from. There's a bunch of funds on the DAO on mainnet and bring that to base. And we've been ready to do this. It's taking forever. But I think the Danny one is the one with the pool, right, Danny? And I think Clément gave you a lot of comments.
Yeah, I attended to that and updated the pull
Okay,
request.
so we'll look at this again. But yeah, there was a ton of stuff that was like, it's not. I mean, Clément told me like he must have been using ChatGPT to create this because there's a lot of stuff that is irrelevant. I'll check it out. I'll chat to Clément this week to see where that's going. I see you fixed this yesterday, so yeah, we have not had time to look at this since yesterday.
Okay, no problem. Louisa has to step out in 10 minutes. Is her next call. Yeah, I figured. Louisa, I'm sorry. Marketing and communications always comes last in the agenda. So you go first, and then we go back to another to one more topic. Unmute yourself. We cannot hear you yet. Yeah. Now we can.
Okay, I cannot hear you, but give me one sec. Let me try something. Oh,
yes,
say something.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Let me.
If you cover your mouth.
Let me try to hop in again. Hop in again. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, if you hover your mic, yes, I am seeing it. Okay. Give me one sec. Let me try something else.
Yeah, I think Will, she cannot hear us. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I cannot hear anybody. That's the problem. Maybe you guys can just like text. Okay. Okay, cool. Maybe, I'm just gonna keep an eye on the text message. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me give you a bit intro about us. My name is Luisa. I'm one of the co-founders at Community One. We're a Discord specialist. We've actually been around for 3 years. We started out by doing data analytics. So we have a good amount of projects that are just focusing on using us to understand what's happening within the community. So Alchemy is one of our customers, Humanity Protocol, ETH Denver. We also do a lot of AI tools, specifically around engagement and support. So I was checking the server of you guys and also like hearing what's happening in the community calls. I think there's a couple of things that we can help on our bot side. First is around support. So we automatically read your document. So it could be Gitbook integrations, docu-series, README, or like white papers, and automatically answer member questions. We use a combination combination of Gemini, different models to do that. So that's one thing. So it doesn't solve like all the problems that you have in terms of developer docs, but it will help a lot in terms of FAQ questions. Second thing that we do is that if you look at our website, you see like a little widget at the bottom of the site, and it has a Discord icon. And when you click on it, you can ask questions, and our AI would automatically respond. So we actually have the same problem with the dashboard, right? So the idea here is that when people use our dashboard to set up the Discord, to set up our bot, there are situations where people get lost, and then we want them to ask for help. And we don't want them to jump off a platform to ask for help. So the way we do it is that you see this little Discord icon at the bottom, and it's connected with our Spark. So they can ask questions directly there. And I would say half of the time, eventually they would join our Discord and continue the conversations. So this is one way that we do in terms of support. Questions? Okay, so we don't really, this is not an open source project. So we don't really have a GitHub repo for our Spark. But I can send you my personal one if you want. Second thing that we do is basically around engagement. So for example, right, you guys are doing a lot of marketing with Pizza DAO. I'm sure like as you grow, there's going to be a lot more new people coming into your Discord. And the question is basically around how do we engage with them? How do we make them stay longer, retain them, and of course, ultimately buy your tokens, vote on the proposals. There is a gradual process about like how user will start to learn more and more about your communities. And we have a feature called Hype Engine. So the idea is that we would engage with users socially first. So they will spend more time just understand what's happening within the community and gradually onboard them into your product, such as check out the documentations, maybe check out this proposal, right? They might not be able to vote because they don't have the token yet, but at least start to get a sense about what you guys do. And gradually, of course, we do on-chain quest as well. So eventually, when we notice this user has spent enough time with your community, sort of know like what you guys do, we would ask them would they like to kind of like stake their tokens, and then if they stake, the longer they stake, the more they stake, the more reward they got. So we have a tokenomic system set up as well. We also allow for API integrations. So for example, right, if you want people to, I checked Tally also have API integrations. So you could, given a proposal, you can get a list of members that have already voted based on, I think, wallet address. So you can actually use that and use our API to integrate directly into your Discord. So for example, if a user runs /quest and we've already have this user's wallet address, we can push a quest saying that go vote on Tally. And I think it will be not a straightforward one line of code, but there is a way that we can basically automatically say, okay, like this user has already voted on this proposal. So those are some of the features that we have. It is freemium model. I would say that a lot of people are using our Spark. There is a pretty powerful version of Hype Engine that's also free. The entire thing is completely self-serving, so you can download our bot, try everything within like 30 seconds of setup. Yes.
I know she won't hear us, so I guess we should type in the chat. You can hear us? At the end of all of this sounds very good. Yeah, I think it's personally, I think it's exciting if it helps, help members. If it helps help members, I guess it's a good idea. Wait, what? Who was that? We don't know. Okay, so the only thing is that, and that's just, I'm a skeptic, right? Is okay, so you invite an AI tool into a otherwise token gated Discord community. Where does all the data go?
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm personally always very interested in finding out. So maybe you can share some insights on that.
So we do a couple of things here. First is that we do not train your text in any way for any AI model. We use Gemini, we use OpenAI or Gemini. Second thing is that we do have a GDPR compliant version. So this means that before we process your data, we would get rid of all the identifiable information, so such as user ID. This is available based on request. And the third thing is that you can actually directly get access to your dashboard and delete all your data, just like you can do it automatically on the on our website. So you're 100% in control. You need to let me know. You can just delete the data from automatically.
Cool. Thank you. Danny, what's up?
Oh, I was just waiting for all of the commenting about what Luisa said, so I can make a quick response to a little bit of the comments Julian made. So I don't know if that's done because I didn't want to cut in on her time.
No, I think we're good. Luisa, can you do me the favor, get on the Discord, share some of the documentation over there again, right? So we can have some internal discussions and maybe make some decisions accordingly next week in the marketing meeting and potentially put it up as a proposal, because I think we shouldn't probably be doing something like this without community assessment. I want to claim. Ceci, what on?
Yeah, let me create a thread so there Lisa can share the documents and any other resources, so we can start the discussion over there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. Yeah. And also, thank you, Luisa. I know you need to hop out, so please hush, go. But thank you so much for staying so patient. I appreciate that. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Before everyone moves out, and Danny, we can also get to your point in a sec. But as Wonder Woman Code is still here, can I ask you, Angela, to shed some more clarity on your proposal called GMAR, PR, and consulting?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll turn my camera on so you guys can see my face too. Hi. First of all, I just wanted to say to Julian, you know, my choice of words was probably not the best, and I apologize for that confusion. I wasn't meant to be that confusing. I probably should have used collaborated instead of worked with, because worked with can be confused, you know, with worked for. I do not work for the foundation in any way, shape, or form, just so everybody's clear about that. So first of all, I just wanted to start there. That is not how things went down. Effectively, I communicated, collaborated, and just communicated what was going on, what I was trying to do with Lana first, who took it to the board at the foundation. So that is how that went down, just in case anybody was curious about that part of it. And then second, I wanted to, you know, address some concerns about, you know, if the foundation doesn't come up with a portion that we need for listing, and whether or not the rest of the marketing campaign is worth it at that point, or where we're going to come up with those funds to get the token ultimately listed on some of these exchanges. So my thoughts are this, and my intention is to make some edits based on feedback and put that up in Tally today. But I was thinking that, you know, actually what we should do at the point that, you know, it looks like we want to get moving forward with getting the token listed and the foundation is not there right in support of that, then we have a conversation about it at that point. Our contract with with them is A, monthly, and B, can be canceled anytime. So just because we start down a path does not mean we have to finish all the way to the end of the path, if that makes sense. So we can pivot if we need to. So there's that. And then in addition to that, I think that with all of the grants that were the idea is going after grants to pay for A, all of this marketing, but B, as much of the other marketing campaigns that we've been spending money on that we can, to replace the value that goes back into the treasury. And specifically those grants, so everybody is really clear that I identified. I made contact with people. If I mentioned it there, I made contact with people over at those grant sites. Some of them I made it very clear on there. I still had to make contact with some of them. So you know exactly which ones I have and haven't. So you know where that's sort of at. But also, I identified grants which I knew would be accepting of the potential of getting funded for specifically marketing related things. So I already filtered out all of the potential grants that were not related to marketing to target specifically the ones that I knew that we could get in order to replace the funds in the DAO treasury. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Not necessarily a question, but I think maybe then we need to have a very secure order on these things, right? So yeah. I think the proposal that I personally voted in favor of, that you put up about going after the grants, I think that, yeah, without a doubt, right? But let's try and first actually get those grants and then start spending the money. I think that would put probably everyone more at ease, because otherwise we might overpromise and come into the position of under-delivering towards your friend, and that will also not make a good impression on him. And I know this is an important contact to you, right? Like from what I understood at least.
Yeah, definitely. But that's also why this was like over time. It was meant to be, something that didn't happen all at once, and leading up to. I'm of the thought that momentum is important. Like we're at a place now where we're finally starting to see some. And we've been at a place in this DAO for a while where we were sort of treading water. And I appreciate, that everybody really wants to, have that in hand first. But part of coming up with all of the detail that's needed to put into some of these grants is working together with them in giving the detail needed to get it past some of these grant committees. And I know that you guys are familiar with how some of that can go down because you've been through that process with some of the grant committees before. And the reality is, like, if we don't have a super clear plan, then that's also really, really difficult. And what can be executed on and not executed on, needs to be spoken through with the person actually executing it. So that's part of it. And the other part is like, hey, we've got all these other things that are going on right now, like the ape coin and everything else that we're going to be doing, in the next couple of months that could use the extra support in going after a market that's huge in terms of cryptocurrency. Like it's like trying to hop along and say, okay, we're going to get there, but we're going to ignore like a large portion of the volume in the world. You know what I mean? So I really think that we're at a point now where we need to like turn the page and go full steam ahead. But, Ultimately, I'm not the one that decides. That's for everybody to decide together. I'm along for the ride either way. So know that.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to make a commitment to $212,000 if we are not yet very sure where it's coming from. I think that is my only issue. So I would prefer if we first try to go after the grants, if we make an internal decision that whatever is generated through the grants goes towards, the South Korean centralized exchange. That's for me okay, but I think I just feel it's risky. And I would not want to sign that document, let's just say, because they will probably send us something we will have to sign. That's a document I will not sign for not the DAO, for no one. So not how I did it with Ninja Promo, right? With Ninja Promo, I put myself up there. I was like, okay, fine, right? I do this for the DAO. Will I do this again for something that I feel we don't really have the finances right now to support? I would not want to do that. So that's I'm all for full steam ahead, but also if we look at the state of Unlock and if we look at the cumulative growth, the protocol has grown. Is it right now exploding? Great, right? But as Julian said, it's also going to go down again. So that is something we cannot capture with this anyways, okay? But the growth has been actually going on since last year. It's good. It's a consistent growth that is happening. So from what I understand from economics and high school, this is good growth. So I don't think anything will run away, but by first securing some grants and then internally deciding that we want to allocate these grants to go on. Okay, Julian is writing. You can also just speak, yo.
Yeah, let me answer some of that too, by the way. There is a breakdown of exactly what that is in there. That it's attached with detail. It includes KOLs. It includes articles in newspapers, which are
So,
mainstream newspapers.
So yeah, no, I read this and I know, but KOL, I mean, what do we get? Do we get somebody tweeting? I don't care. It's not, for me. KOL is a mean. It's what is the goal of getting that KOL? What is the goal of getting that newspaper article? And honestly, the prices for these things is insane. If I remember correctly, it's 2 articles for $10,000. This feels like a crazy amount of money. And what are these articles? Are they going to be on some random blog that some random dude created, and then we actually get no traffic, no visibility whatsoever on this? This feels extremely risky. I want to actually have a clear okay, this is what we get on the outside of this, in terms of result, not in terms of means to potentially something that I don't know what it is. And buying for
That's a fair question. In regards to the articles, by the way, and this is all detail I can add in there, by the way. But yeah, that's in regards to the articles, it's mainstream newspapers, much like our version of the New York Times. It's not.
What's the point of that? You know what I mean?
What is the point of that? Okay, well, that's a good question. So
why is that beneficiary for the DAO? What are we going to get from this? And I want to see numbers. I want to see, okay, fine, we're going to have, I don't know, it could be something like 10,000 people are going to buy at least $1,000 worth of tokens. That is something that, okay, we know what we're paying for. We know we can say, okay, this is worth it, or no, it's not worth it. But 2 articles even in the New York Times, I wouldn't pay that crazy amount of money because I don't know what this actually yields. Does that make sense?
Sure. I can get some statistics to support some of how cryptocurrency is seen differently in the Korean market. That might help you guys understand that particular part better. But
as you know, I'm one of the forget the name, council members on the Graph token, right? On the Graph, yeah, which is very actively trading in Korea. So I actually know a little bit of what might be going on if we get the token there. but it's really unclear to me that the mechanisms that we're going to use, these blog posts, these KOLs, are actually going to get there. That's not what the graph did in practice. And so and the graph gets, maybe not daily, but weekly articles in a bunch of different places, YouTube videos, and all of that. They're not paying for any of these things. The graph worked with exchanges, basically directly with exchanges. And so they went to, Gate and OKX and a bunch of others and got the tokens listed. And these exchanges are making money from that trade. And they're actually the ones paying for marketing. It's not the Graph Foundation that's paying for marketing for these things. We're also, and I don't know if my connection is bad, and I unfortunately have a meeting starting at 4:15. I'm very scared of the unsustainable growth that Stella was talking about. Like, if the goal is to get the token listed without actually any traction behind, I don't know what that's going to look like. And so I'm kind of concerned here that we're thinking, we're going to spend a lot of money, first, that we don't have, so it's not even like we could do spend that money, but without a clear return on investment. And the when Stella says impact versus output, like, sure, we can get 2 articles and 5 tweets, but what's the actual thing? And I think, Stella, you posted a couple of days ago a thread about the tokens. Somebody say, hey, was it you? I think you on Twitter, right? Like a one where somebody say, oh, you paid for all of these KOLs and you got 10,000 people, and you basically bought growth rather than actual usage. And that's a path that I'm scared about, because I think, first of all, we have very little budget, and if we waste it on this, then it's going to be much harder, and then it might actually not yield anything on the other side. So I'm worried about such a proposal, to be honest.
Angela, are you still with us?
I am.
I'm still here. Okay. So I need to go. It's the worst timing. Yeah, it's the worst timing. I think maybe we can, I know you want to do these things in parallel, but if we can try and come up with 30% of the total sum prior to actually making commitments, don't you think that would be a good idea? Because we cannot pay for this out of our own pocket right now. We just can't. So having some security first before actually spending, that would be probably a good idea.
Well, first of all, it's not true that we can't. I mean, we do have the funds in the treasury, so that's not true. It's not true that we can't. And absolutely, I get that.
$12,000?
Yeah, we have that in the treasury. But not only
that. Yeah, we have that in the treasury, but then we have to sell up tokens and essentially dump our own price.
We don't have to sell up tokens because he was willing to take up tokens, knowing full well that there's probably going to be a price bump in the up tokens. If the campaigns are successful, that's the whole entire point is that it's not going to be the incentive for him to be successful is actually there, right?
So yeah, I mean, selling the up tokens, we could lock the up token, then he cannot sell it. That's gotta have a meeting. Yeah, sorry. Okay, let's continue this discussion in the Discord.
I think it's a big one.
Yes.
And so Discord, but I think more importantly, next week, let's start with this. This is the big one, and
let's start with this. Yeah.
Shouldn't push it to the end. Angela, maybe I misunderstood, but he would be paid in up tokens. In the doc, I think it mentioned dollar amounts, never up amounts, which to me was
it said in the bottom that it was 75% in up and 25% in a stable.
Okay. So then, yeah, 3/4 we would have to check, even if we have the quarter worth of if we have 50 grand in dollars, which I'm not even sure we have, but still you're pretty more aware than I am of the treasury.
It's like 40 something, I think, in ETH right now, but yeah.
But
yeah, we would essentially render ourselves inoperable for anything else.
So basically, we put all of our non-up tokens in that, and then the up. I mean, Angela, you know how well these people, they just dump the minute they get the tokens, right? Like I would be surprised if it would be different here. So I'm kind of.
We could counteract that with a locking mechanism.
Yeah,
we lock it for 2 years. If he still agrees on it.
But that still raises the question: what happens with the rest of the ETH and all of the money that we have? Like basically, that's
it means we're inoperable for anything else.
Yeah.
So it's essentially roulettes, like all red 50 or something. It's I don't know. Like economically, it's not a smart decision to render yourself inoperable unless you're in a very desperate need. Okay. I will.
Chat soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well.